My name is Wiley Robinson, and I'm the founder and CEO of Rumpl. The idea for Rumpl started in 2012. Actually, I was on a surf and ski trip with a friend of mine, and we traveled down the coast of California surfing the whole time, and we headed east to camp one night before going skiing. It ended up being like the coldest day on record in Bishop that night. We woke up the next morning and our car was completely frozen, wouldn't turn on. While we were waiting for somebody to show up, we climbed into our sleeping bags and both acknowledged that, despite being in this kind of uncomfortable, sketchy situation, we were pretty comfortable in the sleeping bags. And we got to talking about how we really preferred our sleeping bags to our comforters on our beds back home. From there, we kind of came up with the idea to make what we called at the time a sleeping bag blanket. So we eventually got out of there and got back to San Francisco and whipped up 2 prototypes for this concept. And a bunch of our friends told us that this is a really interesting idea. You guys should do a Kickstarter. And we thought, why not? Let's give it a go. This is pretty low risk. And so we launched a Kickstarter in December of 2013. We ended up raising about $250,000 in 30 days for this concept. So that told us that this was a viable idea and that a lot of other people would be interested in this. Maybe sounds a little cliche, but it really is a journey. And I think that when I was earlier on in the journey, I suffered from this extreme urgency. Like everything was on fire all the time and everything was due yesterday. And on one hand, that I think helped me a lot in the early days, creating that sense of urgency. But I think that led to me just not really enjoying it in those early days. I've matured a little bit over the last, 8 years doing this and realized that there's a long path that we're walking down. Not everything needs to be on fire all the time. The biggest and ongoing challenge continues to be the fact that it is a commodity category and everybody on earth participates in this category. And so it's actually very difficult to whittle down which customers we want to be targeting and who we want to be speaking to. And I don't think that brands are particularly successful when they try to market and speak to everybody. Your message gets pretty watered down and it's not true to anyone.